Now in this spreadsheet what we have is we have here a form, and basically besides the fact that we want to display the system date or time, this cell, which is a simple spreadsheet formula, we want to be able to actually type whatever item number we like here and get a description that corresponds to the item list that we have here. So this is a partial inventory list. So when you type 342, it should display crowbar. When you type for 536, it should display return wrench. Also, if we type something that is not in the list, we want this spreadsheet to return an error message, a user-friendly error message, such as item not found, please type again, or something like this. So let's start. First of all, with the date formula. Now, there are many functions to use here, and please refer to your notes for that. But there is one function that does two things in one. So the now function will return both the time and the date of the system, which is quite large to fit here, so we have to increase the size of the cell. Now, if we only wanted the date, we can always format the cells and choose a date that is, what are the dates? Simpler, like that, for example. Or we can leave both the date and time depending on what we want. But anyhow, this function returns both, so you can use any of the two or both of them. Now, the difficult thing is here. If you go to your notes, you will observe that VLOOKUP has a fourth parameter that we have not used in the previous tutorial. And that parameter is a switch that may be true or false, true or omitted, as we used in the previous tutorial, will actually produce an approximate match. Remember, in this tutorial, we will find 12,435, where in between is placed, and we are not looking for the exact match of 12,435. The different thing here is, in our case here, is that we want 342. We don't want to give something like 350 and tells us get that it's crowbar because it's between 342 and 1212. In this case, it should give us not available or a more user-friendly message. So if the fourth parameter of VLOOKUP is false, then VLOOKUP is set to look for an exact match. And when you are looking for an exact match, it's not important that you have this value sorted as we had in the previous exercise. So let's try this alternative case, VLOOKUP. We are looking for 342 to be found in the range that contains both numbers and descriptions. The column here is always 2 because the descriptions are always in the second column, so we don't have a problem with that. And then we want this to be false, the last parameter, so that it returns an exact match. And you see it types crowbar, and if I type 536, it will change into wrench, and if I type anything else, it will find it, except if I type something that is not there. So if I type 550, it will return the error code not available. Now, if I want to actually change this into a more user-friendly error, then I will have to use the isError command. The isError command function of Excel detects whether the result of a cell is an error result of Excel. Error results of Excel are those that start with pound sign and something there, and it will return true if there is an error, false if there is no error. So basically, if I add the isError command and VLOOKUP becomes a parameter of the isError to detect whether it's producing an error or not, I will get true here, which means that the function there produces an error, but this is not what I want to get. I want to get a user-friendly error. If I have something that works, like crowbar, then I return false, and instead of crowbar, which is what I want, because basically the isError command here tells me that VLOOKUP does not produce an error. So how can I make this detect the error, produce the correct result when there is no error, and then produce an error message, a user-friendly message, when there is an error instead of true or false? So what I will do is the following. I will place this in an if. So if there is an error in VLOOKUP, then give me the function by itself, since it does not produce an error. So this will give me crowbar, else give me within double quotes. Strings are always placed within double quotes, and user-friendly error message. For example, invalid item, please type again. Double quotes, I close my parentheses, and I'm pretty sure that I'm okay. So let's see what I did. If there is an error, I should do it the opposite way actually. If there is an error, if there is an error, then type the error message. I was mistaken. So you have sometimes to do a mistake in order to correct it. And if it is correct, give me the correct result. There you are. So you see, if I type different numbers that exist, it gives me the result. Oops. But if I type something that does not exist, it gives me the error message. So this is power.